Although many still sympathize with Zhou Enlai's suffering under Mao Zedong, there was growing awareness of his submission to Mao and his role in aiding and abetting. The fact that Mao became an absolute authority figure, manipulating the nation's and the people's fate, leading to over 50 million deaths, leaves Zhou Enlai with an inescapable burden of guilt. Whether in terms of domestic or foreign affairs, Zhou Enlai had the capabilities of a national leader. Even in terms of seniority, he had always been Mao's superior in the past. Historically, Zhou Enlai had opportunities to ascend to the highest leadership position, but he chose to support Mao Zedong. This choice may have been based on his emphasis on party unity or his recognition of Mao's leadership. Regardless, this choice placed him in a passive position in power struggles, making him an executor rather than a decision-maker of Mao's policies. He lacked the strong individualism and dictatorial tendencies of Mao Zedong. This personality trait made him more inclined towards negotiation and compromise in intra-party struggles rather than confrontation. While this style contributed to party stability, it also limited his initiative in power struggles. Mao's usurpation of power primarily involved seizing control from Zhou. If Zhou had not willingly relinquished power, Mao would never have become the Red Sun. Willingly stepping aside first, not daring to resist or oppose Mao's reckless behavior later. Despite Zhou Enlai's excellent qualities and outstanding leadership abilities, his lack of domineering ambition forced him to live under Mao's tyranny for a long time. Not only cleaning up after Mao's governance failures but also suffering from suspicion and suppression, enduring great grievances. This ultimately led to significant losses to his lifelong work, the nation, and the people, leaving the country in ruins. A tragic and thought-provoking tale, worthy of deep reflection. Next, I will briefly introduce the successful experience of Singapore's People's Action Party PAP, hoping it will help us and prevent such dark history from repeating itself. The People's Action Party has been Singapore's ruling party since 1959. Its long-term success is mainly attributed to several key factors, including a clean and efficient government, the design of the electoral system, internal party structure, and strict policy implementation. Here are the reasons and mechanisms behind the People's Action Party's long-term rule and its clean, effective governance. 1. Clean and efficient government, strict anti-corruption measures. Singapore adopts a zero-tolerance policy towards corruption, with an independent Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau (CPIB) overseeing and investigating any corrupt activities. Government officials' salaries are competitive with the private sector, reducing the temptation for corruption. Transparency and accountability. Government actions are transparent, with citizens having the right to oversee the government. Government agencies regularly release public financial reports and policy implementation updates. 2. Electoral system and political environment. Electoral system. Singapore practices a parliamentary system where members of parliament are elected by the people. Although the PAP has long been in power, other political parties also participate in elections, ensuring a degree of political diversity. The electoral system includes a one-person, one-vote system and a multi-member constituency system, ensuring voter representation. Strong leadership team. The PAP has always emphasized teamwork and collective decision-making. Even with leadership changes, the party's policies and ideology remain consistent. 3. Internal party structure and leadership selection. Strict selection and training. The PAP is rigorous in selecting leaders, usually choosing individuals with professional backgrounds, good reputations, and a strong public service commitment. New leaders typically undergo long-term evaluation and training to ensure they have sufficient managerial and leadership qualities. Leadership selection mechanism. Singapore's leaders are typically selected through internal party elections. The Central Executive Committee (CEC), consisting of senior party leaders, is responsible for internal decisions and major party matters. The party has a clear succession plan, ensuring smooth power transitions. 4. Checks and balances. Independent judiciary. Singapore has an independent judicial system, ensuring the supremacy of the law in national governance. The judiciary operates independently from the executive and legislative branches, effectively overseeing government actions. Civil society and media supervision. Although Singapore's media environment is relatively controlled, the government allows some civil society organizations and media to monitor and criticize public affairs. Citizens can express opinions through social media and other platforms, which somewhat limits government power abuse. International reputation and external supervision. As an international financial center and trade hub, Singapore highly values its international reputation and credit. Therefore, the Singaporean government maintains high standards in governance to sustain international trust. These mechanisms have enabled Singapore's People's Action Party to maintain long-term rule while ensuring clean and effective governance. These measures have provided a solid foundation for Singapore's economic development and social stability. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more exciting historical content.